Hey, what's up, y'all? So, I was doing research on a whole nother topic, and this popped up on my screen. I see some are in a disagreement and don't believe that Patrick is the one who did it. I am just going to deliver the two news clips and the press conference on this topic. I am not sure on what even happened in this whole event. I've just been told so many different things that I'm to the point where I don't feel like we're getting the full story. And so I'm going to just let the police do their job. Here's in the beginning. They named two different people. So let's take a look at these two news clips, and then we're going to look at the full press conference and see what they're saying.
Nominated rapper TAKEOFF was shot and killed in Houston. A man who was there that night has been arrested on gun charges. Cameron Joshua has not been charged in TAKEOFF's death. He made his first court appearance this morning. KPRC2's Rochelle Turner lays out what's expected to happen next.
The attorney representing Cameron Joshua says he was at the club but has nothing to do with the shooting. Wearing an orange jumpsuit, 22-year-old Cameron Joshua appeared before a judge Wednesday morning. Prosecutors say they have surveillance video and an eyewitness who says Joshua had a gun and he was present when rapper TAKEOFF was killed earlier this month at a Houston bowling alley. No one has been charged in TAKEOFF's death, but Joshua is facing 2 charges of carrying a weapon.
We believe Cameron.
So, by the way, this was in the beginning. So I'm just showing you guys from the beginning up until now what they're saying. So that's why they're saying this guy is Cameron. Like I said, there was 2 people that were announced. So here we go.
Joshua has been appropriately charged in this case, and we're continuing our investigation into the death of TAKEOFF.
His attorney, Christopher Downey, says the DA's office would have charged him in the shooting if they believe he was involved.
I haven't seen anything to suggest that Cameron Joshua had anything to do with the shooting.
In April, Joshua was charged with burglary of a motor vehicle. According to the Harris County Sheriff's Office, Joshua and a second suspect tried to burglarize a man's car at a gas station in Northwest Harris County. As for today's case, Joshua's bond hearing is scheduled for next week.
Mr. Joshua was on bond for an unrelated matter, possessing a fake ID, and the case was reset to determine conditions of bond, whether he'll be held at no bond because he's alleged to have committed an offense while on bond, or whether he'll be given a reasonable bond.
Downey did not say if Joshua or TAKEOFF had any prior relationships. He also wouldn't say if his client was playing dice. We will continue to follow this story and keep you posted on when his next bond hearing will be. Reporting from downtown, I'm Rochelle Turner, KPRC 2 News.
All right, so that's the first news clip, y'all. This is the second one, and this is where they're talking about Patrick. So this one is like 2 minutes, and then we're going to get into the press conference because I see you are just like, he is the one who did that. So you think it's Cameron. That's the main one. On the full press conference, it has Patrick's full name there. So I'll let you hear what they say on that part. But before that, I am going to play this quick 2-minute clip when they're talking about Patrick. And I'll let you determine what you think is the discrepancy here. Because it's a little, let me see, did it pop up there? Oh, no, it didn't. Here we go. Here we go.
In charge in the death of Migos rapper TAKEOFF appeared before a judge a short time ago. Houston police say Patrick Xavier Clark is the person who pulled the trigger outside of a downtown bowling alley. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry live outside of the Harris County Jail with new information in this case. Bryce.
Brandon, the suspect in TAKEOFF's murder was supposed to appear in court sometime in the 7 o'clock hour, but it just happened in the last 10 minutes or so. We're told that he entered the courtroom in an orange jumpsuit surrounded by 7 police officers. And tonight, prosecutors are asking for him to be held on a $1 million bail. Tonight, 33-year-old Patrick Xavier Clark is accused of murdering Migos rapper TAKEOFF more than a month ago outside a private party at a downtown bowling alley.
More than entertainer, he was a son, a brother, cousin, and a friend, and a mentor to those in the music industry.
Friday afternoon, Houston Police Chief Troy Finner announced Clark's arrest alongside Mayor Sylvester Turner and investigators disclosing new details about what led up to the shooting.
There was a lucrative dice game that went on at the event. There was an argument that happened afterwards outside the bowling alley, which led to the shooting. I can tell you that TAKEOFF was not involved in playing in the dice game. He was not involved in the argument that happened outside. He was not armed. He was an innocent bystander.
In asking for a $1 million bond, court documents show prosecutors consider Clark.
Is this the yellow hoodie that you're referring to? Possibly. Because if so, I believe this is the man Patrick. If this is the day he got arrested, or I'm not sure on which TMZ video it is, but is this the yellow hoodie you could be referring to?
Clark a flight risk, revealing that he applied for an expedited passport after the November 1st murder and had plans to travel to Mexico. Police arrested him Thursday with a large amount of cash. Police also arrested 22-year-old Cameron Joshua, caught on video with a weapon at the after party, and charged him with unlawful carrying of a weapon. Police say the investigation isn't close to over. And we are still learning more details as this hearing unfolds in the building behind me here. In fact, we're told that there was video that actually captured Clark pointing the gun at TAKEOFF. Also, video of him fleeing the scene. Of course, these are details just developing right now, and we'll continue to keep you updated. The suspect is due back in court on Monday. We're live downtown tonight. I'm Bryce Newberry, KPRC 2 News.
Okay, so now we're going to get straight to the full news clip. That way we can see what they are talking about, what information has, came about, to why they're now saying Patrick. Let me load it up right here. And maybe this can answer some more questions. So let's give this a look. Here we go.
We're here to announce an arrest, but before I do that, I always start with that human element. I spoke to TAKEOFF's mother early this morning, and my prayers, and I ask that all our prayers continue to go out to her and his entire family, his close friends, the city of Atlanta, and all of TAKEOFF's fans around the world. We lost a good man, and I didn't have the pleasure of meeting him. But everybody, the hundreds of people that I talked to, spoke on what a great individual he was. We have a special relationship with the city of Atlanta. I want to make sure that stays intact. I want to thank them, the family, and everybody else for patience, allowing us to work through the evidence and the facts, which is most important. I also want to thank our investigators. Here today, Sergeant Michael Barrow, Lieutenant Barnes, Investigator Ross Watson, and also from the DA's office, Ruben Perez and Matt Gilliam, who's worked very hard on this case. All of our individuals, our divisions, our homicide division, thank you. People don't know the hard work that they do behind the scenes, the number of hours that they're away from their family members. So also the gang division, our federal partners, FBI, state partner DPS, and ATF. Everybody took a role in this investigation. We stood here a little bit, I think a month ago, maybe a day or two, and made a promise that we would get the individuals are the individual that's responsible for the murder of Takeoff in custody. So yesterday evening, we arrested Patrick Xavier Brown, 33 years old. He was charged with the murder of Takeoff. Brown was arrested again yesterday evening in the 14700 block of Sterling Green Boulevard. It's located on the east side of Texas. I'm sorry, of Houston. Again, Cameron Joshua, 22 years old, was arrested on November the 22nd for felon in possession of a weapon. I'm going to turn it over to the mayor right now, and after that, we're going to bring up the investigators and then the district attorney's office, and then Commander Garcia will translate for us in Spanish. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And look, let me thank your entire team and all of your law enforcement partners that have been working on this case. Let me thank the prosecutors from the DA's office. I really appreciate their presence and their work. And I've certainly realized that the work even continues in this case. I do want to point out the fact that over the last month, I've had several conversations with the mayor of Atlanta, Mayor Andre Dickens, kind of keeping him advised of this investigation and what was taking place, and talked with him as late as yesterday evening to apprise him of what would be taking place today. Look, it was about a month ago when we stood here as a team to discuss the shooting death of Kirshnik Khari Bell. Public knew him as Takeoff. We all knew him as Takeoff, a talented entertainer and part of the Atlanta-based group, the Migos. I do also want to acknowledge Councilmember Edward Pollard, who is with us this afternoon. But in more than entertainer, he was a son, a brother, cousin, and a friend, and a mentor to those in the music industry. At that time, we also asked witnesses to help police identify Takeoff's killer and prevent more violence from happening in retaliation. I am glad that a suspect has been arrested and charged with Takeoff's death. It certainly, I think, will bring some comfort to the family, though it does not bring Takeoff back. This is a significant step towards seeking justice, and I hope it also brings additional comfort to all of those who love Takeoff. Over the past few weeks, Chief Fenn and I were asked often about the status of the investigation. The chief kept me informed about the information that had been received, the evidence that has been collected, including the video that was being reviewed. I want to express my regrets and disappointment that this was a case of a young man taking the life of another young man for no reason. The gun violence everywhere, not just in the city of Houston, has to stop. People are dying for little or no reason, and people are reaching for a deadly firearm to settle sometimes minor disagreements. But pulling a firearm can have deadly consequences that you cannot undo. And so I'm glad that arrest has taken place, that we do have someone in custody. It is unfortunate. It really is unfortunate because it does not bring Takeoff back. But to Chief Fenner, to you, to your command staff, to the investigators, to the DA's office, to all of the partners who helped, to those who provided tips, information, let me thank you, and then look forward to this investigation and prosecution continuing on this matter. Thank you, Chief.
Let me step up and make a quick correction on the name. I had a misprint on my notes. It's Patrick Xavier Clark, 33 years old, on the rest of the suspect. Okay. Come on, Sarge.
Good afternoon. I'm Sergeant Michael Burrow with the Homicide Division. The chief was very gracious in recognizing a lot of the partners that we were involved with in this case. I did want to recognize a couple of other people that or organizations that helped a lot with the investigation. The Houston Forensic Science Center, our lab rats, so to speak, the people that do our forensic analysis, they work behind the scenes a lot. They don't get a lot of recognition, and they helped us answer a lot of important questions in this case when others would not. That includes our firearms section, our latent print section, and our crime scene unit. Quick note, I know there's going to be a lot of questions about the investigation. The investigation is still ongoing. We still have a lot of people that we're trying to locate and talk to. So we will be a little bit short on details here. We probably will not be able to answer all of your questions. But I can tell you, to confirm some of the speculations out there, the event was a private party. There was a lucrative dice game that went on at the event. There was an argument that happened afterwards outside the bowling alley, which led to the shooting. I can tell you that TAKEOFF was not involved in playing in the dice game. He was not involved in the argument that happened outside. He was not armed. He was an innocent bystander. Some important case factors. The chief was mentioning some of the timing here. I mean, we've boiled it down to over 30 people that were standing outside. We have an exact number, but we're not going to put that out. When the shooting happened, literally every single one of those people left the scene without giving a statement to police. We found a few of them that night. We found others since then. But it's important that those people come forward. And we're still looking to talk to a lot of those people. And we will be looking to find you. It will be easier if you come find us. It'll be easier for you. It'll be easier for us as well. Essentially, we had to rely on a large volume of video surveillance evidence that came in, and cell phone videos and audio, things that surfaced over time in some cases that weren't available immediately. We had to sift through all of that and use physical evidence and use shooting reconstruction and confirm a lot of our ballistic evidence, what weapons were involved, things of that nature. And through that, we were able to deduce that Patrick Clark is the lethal shooter in the case. And that's why he's being charged with murder.
Thank you, Sergeant. That's the DA's office.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. My name is Ruben Perez, and I'm a Bureau Chief of the Special Crimes Bureau. My bureau was in charge of this investigation at the DA's office. I want to thank the prosecutors in my bureau for working extremely hard, and I really want to thank the HPD organization for all the work and the collaborative effort they put into this case along with the DA's office. And I also want to thank our federal partners for their help. I want to thank everybody who was involved in this case. I want to echo what the mayor said. I want to echo what Chief Fender said, and I want to echo what the investigator said, that it took a lot of effort, a lot of work, a lot of patience, but we arrested this defendant. We look forward to prosecuting this case, and I want to send our sympathies to the family. And we look forward to prosecuting this case, and we'll see everybody in court. Thank you.
Muy buenas tardes. A nombre del jefe de la policía, Troy Finner, y del alcalde Turner, queremos dar las gracias al público por su asistencia en esta investigación. Hace algunas horas, el jefe de la policía le habló a la madre de nuestra víctima y le dio las noticias de que, en efecto, hemos arrestado a la persona responsable por este crimen. El individuo se llama Patrick Xavier Clark, de 33 años de edad. Fue arrestado anoche. El 22 de noviembre también fue arrestado una persona de interés en este caso. No sabemos su papel exactamente. Se llama Cameron Josh, de 22 años de edad. La evidencia, gracias a la cooperación tanto del Departamento de Policía, incluyendo a la División de Homicidios, a la División de Pandillas, nuestros compañeros federales del FBI y de la ATF, nuestros compañeros de la Procuraduría del Condado de Harris y a muchas otras personas que participaron en esta investigación. Les damos las gracias por su cooperación. Esperamos que la ciudad de Atlanta y los compañeros fanáticos de este individuo tengan un poquito de alivio de que esta persona fue arrestada. En conclusión, le damos las gracias a todos los que nos dieron información y a todas las personas que participaron en esta investigación. Muchas gracias.
We'll open up for questions.
Chief, we know that Joshua was already arrested. We'll see his picture attached to this one. How is he connected to this case? What's his status?
He was there on the scene, and he was in possession of a weapon. He's a felon.
So
Did Mr. Clark lose the dice game, or was that like a motive in this?
We're still investigating that, and we were not able to discuss it right now. Just the dice games.
could you go into more specifics about how you actually connected Mr. Clark with either the gun or bullet or whatever?
Yeah, not today. As the time comes, we will. All right.
Was it Joshua's gun that was used in this crime?
We're not going to discuss that right now. It's still active in investigation. We told you, and just not a whole lot of details. The main thing right now, he's in custody. He's arrested and he's charged for this murder. Still some work to be done on it, but we're not going to go in any farther than we've already went on the investigation.
Chief, you guys have often talked about the fact that in this case too, there were so many people on scene. They don't come forward, they like leave, and you guys had to sort of work backwards. Were there any witnesses who were helpful, or did you basically have to construct all of this from the
I can tell you
sources of video, bits and pieces of?
I can tell you it's upstanding investigative work on this. Not a lot of help for people coming up and stepping up, but I don't want to judge them. But they do need to come in because we know who was on the scene, and we will be contacting and reaching out and finding those individuals. This is a murder. And if you left because you were afraid or whatnot, I don't know the motivation, but you do have to come forward and give us some information. And that could come through grand jury subpoena as well. So
Was Takeoff the intended target, or was he at the wrong place?
we already, it's definitely wrong place at the wrong time. No evidence whatsoever to say anything different. Go ahead. I'll get you.
Peacefully, can you tell us about apprehended?
I'm sorry.
Peacefully, could you tell us about apprehended?
Oh, yes, the actual arrest of him. Yeah, peacefully. And I'm not bragging, but I send this message to our criminals. We're gonna come and get you, and we come and get you professionally, but we come in force with everything that we have. And he gave up, and I want to say thanks for that. Okay, nobody's hurt, nobody's injured. Go ahead.
As Takeoff as a bystander, can you say at all where he was situated in terms of where the gunman was?
No, we won't go into it, but he was actually on the scene, and we all know it. There is some video out there, but we're gonna stay away from specifics right now. Go ahead.
Was Clark invited to the party? Did he know Takeoff?
We don't know. Yeah.
Was Mr. Clark, has Patrick Clark admitted to the shooting?
Not going to discuss that right now. Go ahead.
Was Mr. Clark involved in a shooting in 2018 at a club where someone was killed?
That's part of the investigation. I mean, we'll get it out to you.
Do these two reside in Houston?
Who? What's two?
Two.
Yeah. Well, one, but one of them has a residence outside of Houston. Go ahead.
Do you expect more suspects out there?
We don't know. We're not gonna outrule anything. We're gonna go where the facts and the evidence lead. And you remember what I said: suspect are suspects, and we're gonna leave no stone unturned. And everybody, family deserve that. And I want to say this, and we're gonna probably do just a few more questions, and we're gonna leave. We got work to do. Any individual that's killed in our city, it's tough, and it's tough on the family and tough on their friends. Everybody deserves an investigation, but the investigator said it. We need people to step up to do your part as a citizen. And if you see something, you need to say something. Don't let the fear paralyze you. Step up and say something. And we're all better and safer because of that. One more.
Chief, was he about to flee or leave town? Is that why you guys moved in last night? Or what can you tell us about?
I don't want to go into any details on that, but we suspect you. We'll have our eyes on you.
Mr. Mayor, can I ask you, of course, this is a national, if not a worldwide story. What message do you want to send to the broader community about this case and this situation?
Well, the one message is, number one, you can't come and commit murder in this city and expect to not get caught. Quite frankly, guns will kill. And if you use a weapon in the heat of the moment, or whatever the facts may be, if you fire it, you can have deadly consequences. and then someone can either be seriously wounded or someone in this case, like Takeoff, can lose his life. And you heard the investigator say he was an innocent bystander. But regardless of whether you are an individual that's a celebrity or you're not a celebrity at all, we are going to investigate every case with the greatest degree of intensity, utilizing all available resources to find who the person was or who the persons were. The other point that I will make is that if you have 30 people that are in that setting, and one of those persons, for example, in this case, like was Takeoff, was killed, everybody else has a responsibility to contribute to finding out who did it. So I don't give anybody an out. If you were there and you saw something and you know something, you don't get a pass. Everybody has to take a responsibility. And then lastly, I would simply say there are just too many young men. And I'm gonna be even a little bit even more specific. There are too many young men of color who are killing other young men of color. And that has to stop. It has to stop. So this is unfortunate. You have a young man, I think 33 years old is the suspect here. And Takeoff was under the age of 30. Okay. So all families are impacted in this situation. But if you commit a crime in this city, we are going to expend all available resources to find you. Okay.
All right. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
All right, Shaw, these are the people that they're saying that are responsible for Takeoff's death. I see in the comments that, you know, it's not believed that this is the correct person. I'm just giving the information as it comes. I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't there. I see the video, but I can't, pick out who was who. I don't know these people. But with them also saying this, Quavo, when that popped into the media, I was like, wow, okay, now they're doing quite a bit now. Like, what's really going on? And if this was a setup, I'm just wondering why Takeoff, he was more of the one that I seen kind of laid back, more out of the, the limelight, I would say. I didn't see him, always on the red carpet. He wasn't like a, Cardi and her boo. It was more, he was like kind of quiet to me. So I would just wonder, like, why? Why would he be the selected one that they would want to set up, since I'm seeing that? I don't know. You guys can let me know what you guys think in the comments. I will be back live a little bit later because I was showing some things last night that was like not coming out correctly. So yeah, tell me what you think about this in the comments. Do you think we got the right person? Is there more people involved? Is this a setup? What do you guys think is going on at this point? So, all right, y'all, if you guys haven't done it already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will be right back with y'all in another video. All right, y'all, bye-bye.